I'm Dave Ruden. Welcome to the Ruden Report podcast. We're 2 weeks into the FCX season, and we've had a lot of great performances so far, a lot of great games. But I have to say, in my travels, I don't think I've heard anybody spoken about more than Staples pitcher Hiro Wyatt for good reason. He was highly touted coming to the Rutgers last year as a transfer, and this year he's off to a 2-0 start, 24 strikeouts in 12 innings, and he's throwing the ball. He hit 96 miles per hour in a big win over Fairfield Warde this week. And so joining me right now to talk about his great start is Hiro Wyatt. Hiro, thanks a lot for taking the time.
Yep, thank you for having me.
How you doing so far? You have to be pretty happy with the way the season's gone. You had one, we'll call it maybe a little bit of a fluky win the way it ended, but you guys are on a 3-game winning streak, and the team's playing well, and you're playing well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, very grateful. The team's really playing well. We've been working really hard. I feel pretty good going into this season. I put in a lot of work in the off season, so hopefully, we keep winning.
Let's talk team first. What you had some changeover. You got a lot of new players. You got some returning players. What's been the key to success so far?
Team chemistry for sure. Being around each other, getting familiar, knowing that we got each other's backs, knowing that our players are going to make plays in the field, knowing that a hitter in the box is going to be able to get a big hit for us.
So I think some people were wondering, we knew the pitching was going to be good. We didn't know about the hitting, but you guys are averaging 8 runs a game through 5 games. So far the offense has been pretty good.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Did you expect, you had some good hitters here?
Oh yeah, no, I had faith in our team. We made sure that every week we'd be going in at least 2 days a week to hit in the off season. So we all got our reps in. So we all came into the season confident that we're gonna put a barrel on ball.
Well, we'll talk about your bat in a little while because that gets really overshadowed by everything else. But let's talk about your arm because you're off to an unbelievable start. First of all, you have to be real satisfied with how your first 2 outings have gone.
Yes, definitely. I definitely can still improve. There's a lot to improve on, just mentality, pitch selection. But I'm definitely proud of what I've done so far.
I don't think FCAC teams want to hear that you can improve because that's kind of a scary prospect. The two things that struck me, and one isn't even you. I think this carries on the field, but I've kind of noticed this even before the first game at Greenwich. You just sort of seem like a different person. You sort of seem like just going from junior to senior year, just part of the maturation process. You just not that you weren't mature last year. You just seem even more mature and poised this year. Do you see any difference in yourself? Take the baseball out of the equation.
I think a little bit. I think definitely going to senior year, just knowing that I'm about to, go to the next level, play sports in college, and also just going to college has changed my mentality and attitude. And I think it also has a little bit to just being more comfortable with my teammates.
I think also it seems like you've adapted well to being a leader. Now this is part of your team, and I know talking to your coach Jack McFarland, he's really been impressed with the way you've been a leader so far.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think the way I lead is just making sure that everyone has a voice, everyone has a part on the team. I don't want to be like better than anyone. I just want to be just like any other teammate, and I think that's why we're so good this year.
Okay, yeah. Opening start, you just overpowered Greenwich, an 8-0 win. You went 5 innings. You struck out 13. You had to be sky high after that game.
I mean, it was just the first game. It's a long season. I don't think getting stuck up on one outing is beneficial for the team or just anyone. So I was definitely, happy, but you're happy for a day and then you just forget about it.
Just because you had some struggles with your control last year, just getting that first game and being as dominant and throwing strikes, which we'll get to also, which I think's been probably your biggest strength with your speed and change of pace. Is that something else you think that's been beneficial?
Definitely. I think at this level, any pitcher that throws strikes is going to be at a huge advantage, no matter what speed you're throwing at. I think balls is definitely like the most detrimental thing towards a pitcher, and it loses games. So strikes definitely helps.
And then you come back Monday in what was an ultra hyped game against Fairfield Warde. They got to you a little bit early. They got to you a little bit late, and you go into the seventh inning down 4-2, and the team rallies for a dramatic 5-4 win. And you go the distance and strike out 11 against the defending FCX and state champions, and a team capable of repeating both. That had to be another step on the ladder, in just in terms of your confidence and being satisfied with what you're doing to this point.
Yes, sir. I think it was a huge win for the team. The team definitely gained a lot of confidence just knowing that we have the capability of beating any team in the state, basically, just because they're the number one. I think my performance, it was okay, but the team backed me up, and that was huge. So everyone knows. I mean, it's just solidified the fact that we can hit.
Were you surprised? And we checked with the scouts, and they said that you had hit 96. Were you surprised by that?
Not really. I know that I could throw pretty hard. I was really just worried about strikes going into the outing, and it ended up going well.
Have you hit higher than 96 before? That you
Uh,
know?
yeah, I actually two scouts had me at 97 that game.
Oh,
So
really? I guess
yeah,
we talked to the wrong guys.
yeah.
uh, Story that I don't know that everybody knows, but Jack McFarland wanted to take you out after the sixth inning. He thought you'd thrown enough pitches, and he thought one of the relievers could come in, shut down Ward, and keep you guys in a position to come back as you did. And you basically told them, "No, this is my ball game." What happened there?
I mean, I didn't say it like that, but I
I
was like,
know that's the way he described it. I know there's a little bit more politeness in it than the way he did. But what did you say to him, and why did you say
I was just like, Coach, leave me in. I got this.
it?
I had confidence in myself. I wasn't losing command. I knew that if I chose the right pitches to throw, I could get out of the seventh real easy. Um, I think that game, it was really just a matter of pitch selection and location, just leaving balls over the plate. There was a great hitting team. So I knew that if he left me in, I was not going to make another mistake the way I was in the first and the sixth. So yeah, I was just leaving balls right off the plate, which were ended up getting called strikes. And then I let up a little bit of just ground balls, bad contact, which were outs. So it worked out.
How big a win is that early in the season for the team? And that was a non-league game. You're going to get to play him at least one more time, if not more, in the postseason.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's huge. Everyone's huge for us. We can't get too stuck up on a win, but you just got to keep going. You know.
Is your control the big difference from last year? I know 76% of your pitches have been strikes. I know it was a little over 50% last year. Has that been the number one difference between you over the 2 years?
Yeah, I think definitely. This off season was all control work, and velocity just came with that. Just familiarizing myself with the motion, gaining strength, gaining weight. But I think throwing strikes in the outing gives you so much confidence. Allows you to be comfortable on the mound. You could play around with location, but when you're throwing balls, it's really hard to just saying, "Hey, I'm going to throw a fastball right off the plate." You're really just trying to get it over the plate. So it gives the hitters a huge advantage.
How much harder are you throwing this year than last year? What were you throwing about last year?
I normally topped like 94 in my outings last year. I hit 5 once in the playoffs. This year, I think my first outing I was 96, second at 97. So it is a little bit of jump.
But plus the fact you've got that nasty slider. So it's got to be tough getting in the box and you're trying to time that a fastball that's whizzing by you, and all of a sudden you got that hook coming at you.
Yes, sir.
How do you I don't know, does Jack call pitches or do you call your own pitch, or do you guys call pitches?
Um,
Or is it
I
a
It
combination?
really depends, but I usually call pitches just because I like to shake off a lot, mess with the hitter's head. And my catcher knows, what kind of pitches I throw. He has a really good feel for my pitch selection.
Let's talk. You've been really candid about this in a refreshing way, just about the difference with you last year and this year. And I know you said you transferred, for people who don't know, you went to King in Stanford private school, and you transferred here last year. And you said it was a tough adjustment. I think it's important for you to tell your story, because I think people sometimes forget about pressures that high school athletes have to deal with for a variety of reasons. But you said that it wasn't the smoothest transition that it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Westport Public Schools, so I already had a lot of familiar faces. I wouldn't say it was the pressure as in like, oh, there's so many people showing up to games, just because I've pitched in a lot of huge games before that. It was more the anticipation of what people expected. I think that got to my head. I wasn't really I guess it was at the time it's too much pressure. I was in my head just thinking like, oh, like what if I don't do good? What if I let up runs? What if I throw balls? But as a pitcher, you really can't have that mindset, just because if you're thinking about failure, it just increases the chance of it happening.
Those 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 of us in the media, did we hype you up a little bit too much, and you kind of felt like you had to live up to everything we were saying?
I guess maybe, yeah, that probably had something to do with
And I'm
it.
going to blame Jack McFarland for that. If you blame us, I'm going to play the blame game with Jack on that one.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but you know what? People don't realize that. I mean, you guys are still teenagers, and you guys have a lot of pressures in everyday life, and there's pressure being an athlete too. And I would imagine, as a highly hyped athlete, there's pressure trying to live up to what everybody expects.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
So is it just kind of a struggle that is it one of those things where you're struggling with your confidence? It's kind of like a little bit of a hole that's tough to climb out of.
Um, for me, no, I think it was just all mentality. Just knowing that you're doing it for yourself. You're not playing baseball for other people. You just do it because you like it. You like to be around your team. You like to win. You like to compete. And I think once I got that in my head, it was really just like play, have fun. Play with your boys, win games. Really, no pressure.
And you had the strong your last outing, the state playoff game against Trumbull. You pitched really well, just sort of a stepping stone. Did you do anything? I know we talked, and you said most of the offseason was throwing. Did you do anything at all specifically just to deal with your confidence, or was that just something you were able to work out on your own?
I think that was just, yeah, something I really worked out on my own. Um, I actually got an audiobook for this, I guess, sort of mental coaching a little bit. And that honestly helped a lot, just getting a different perspective of someone who, has a lot of knowledge and information on that topic and is familiar with athletes dealing with different problems. Just knowing that I'm not the only one struggling helps a lot.
Was it a case last year you were hoping to succeed, and this year you expect to?
Um, Yeah, I think so. I think you go into I mean, for me this year, I've gained confidence so I could go in, everyone goes in expecting to win, that you want to win. But last year, I think I was lacking confidence. So when I was on the bump, it was like, I don't know if I'm going to do well or not. Now it's more like I'm going to go out, throw strikes, and we're going to score runs, and then hopefully we win. So as long as everyone does their job, uh, it'll be a good game.
I think another thing I've noticed a little bit more, and I don't think it was a problem last year, but just you've been around the guys now for another year. You all know each other better. That's just a natural thing, and it just seems like I don't know if it was a little bit of a transition, but you're the new guy coming in that's hyped last year, and just from spending a year all together, you guys are just naturally closer.
Yeah, definitely. I think uh, building relationships with everyone on the team is huge for having success during the season. And I think that's what we worked on a lot this off season, or just even right after the season. Working on the field, hitting in the cages, throwing. We all did it together, so that's definitely helped.
You know, another thing, you got hyped last year, and you're pitching so well this year, but uh, you know, people who don't know you, nothing's ever gone to your head. I mean, you got scouts coming, you got everybody talking to you, and you're just on that, I get my hand up, that level keel there. You're not going like this. You're straight ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're a pitcher, emotions can definitely mess up your performance or make it better. But the best thing you could do is really just stay level-headed, control your emotions, stay focused on the task, and that's really the key to succeed, honestly, in every sport. So, yeah.
I think it was after the first game, you kind of told me you like the pressure, and not you like the pressure now, and having all the scouts there and everything. It's just motivated you to do well. That motivated you even more to do well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pressure does just come with playing sports. It's not really that I like it. It's just like I have to deal with it, you know. But it is enjoyable. It makes me want to compete even more. So that's fun.
Do you get the sense? I covered the Norwalk Darien baseball game yesterday. I had Darien parents asking me, you know, what's he like? You know, everybody's hearing about you. Do you get the sense that outside of Westport, people are talking about you?
I have no clue, honestly. But if you say parents are talking about me,
They
maybe.
are, I can tell you.
All
Every
right.
everybody who hasn't seen you yet is asking about you. So I gotta imagine part of it's there. There's got to be a part of it though that's fun too. Not in a cocky way, just in a confident way. It's a compliment for people to be talking about you. So I would imagine there's part of it that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
So what about you've set the bar pretty high. What about I think you're making the start against New Canaan on Monday. We're taping this on Saturday. What you know, going forward the rest of the year, what's key for Hiro Wyatt's success, and what's key for Staples' success?
All right. Well, for my success, I'd say staying healthy, making sure I do my arm care after each mound appearance, throwing strikes, mixing in my off speeds well, locating pitches, working from one side of the plate to the other, and then also, of course, hitting. For the team, I'm gonna say just staying tight the way we are. You know, no conflicts, no stupid like arguments. As long as we stay sharp the way we've been and keep on putting work in, I know that everyone on the team's motivated and we all love winning. So if we just keep doing what we're doing, I think the wins will come.
What about you're headed to USC next year? The scouts are following you around. Have you given any thought to what could happen in terms of getting drafted, where you might get drafted? I mean, obviously it's real early in the game right now with that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely too early to even have an idea of where I'll get drafted, when I'll get drafted. But you know, as long as I keep throwing strikes, getting outs, pitching well, mixing in my pitches, displaying my off speeds, I think there's a good chance I could get drafted fairly high. But you know, I always have USC, so it really depends.
You're in a good situation for next year, no matter what happens.
Thank you.
uh, I don't know. Is there anything I'm trying to think what I haven't asked you before. Anything what don't we know about Hiro Wyatt? What are your when you're not playing baseball, what are you doing? What do you have interests, hobbies? Any idea what you may want to study or career goals?
I guess career goals, definitely baseball. uh,
outside, what do you if you end up at USC, what would you major in? Any idea yet?
I want to major in business. I don't know if I've been accepted yet, but if not, the communications, we'll see. Um, my hobbies. I have this friend who I've been friends with since like 7th grade. When he moved in, we go fishing a
Do you
lot.
really?
He's a huge fisher. Yeah, he knows everything. Like
Where do you
he'll
go? I obviously I grew up in Westport. Where do you guys go fishing?
So back in the day, we used to go to Old Mill Pond. Now we've been going to like Saugatuck River. There's like a bridge on it where
Yeah.
the railway is. We fish off of that or go down. Um, but yeah, the fish are popping. Striped bass are going crazy right now.
I was just gonna say it's good fishing there.
Yeah, at night we go to at night where it's like it just goes crazy. And then I also play chess with him when I'm not fishing
Really?
with him. Yeah, I'll go over. We play chess just for fun.
I'm not a chess player, but is the strategy in chess, is it sort of similar to when you're facing hitters and what you're gonna throw? Is there any correlation?
I don't know. I think just chess is very translates a lot to the real world. Just being like, hey, like if I do this, what's gonna happen? And then what do I have to do next? It's just a lot of thinking and just being able to predict moves. And I think it just helps with pitching, with sports, with everything.
And what about is the fishing just sort of a nice way to relax and get away from everything?
Yeah, definitely. It's chill time, hang out with my friend, talk. Um, and yeah, catching fish is a lot of fun. So it's just all around great.
I gotta ask this only because I keep in touch with Chad Knight, and we share the love of the same director with movies. What, you got any favorite movies?
Um,
I didn't expect to ask you this. I just sort of.
but I have a lot of faith. I used to like Creed, the Creed series I liked a lot, but then the new Creed sort of wasn't that good.
I shouldn't see it. I was looking at it. It's not good.
No, yes, I think it's directed by Michael B. Jordan, so he didn't do too good of a job.
Okay.
Also like I used to like the Star Wars series. I haven't watched in a while though. But yeah, those are my favorites.
I mean, you and Chad are really similar personality wise. I don't know how you. I know you know Chad somewhat. I don't know how well you know him, but
Yeah.
Chad and I love Quentin Tarantino movies, Pulp Fiction. We talk about that all the time. I remember the first time talking to Chad about it, and I thought he was going to start talking to me about the lines, the funny lines and stuff, and he's talking to me about the cinematography in the movie. And
No,
you
he's smart.
you guys are real similar in terms of talent and temperament. You're both outstanding athletes, and you wouldn't know it by the way you guys conduct yourself. So you guys have a lot in common, and hopefully he's having a great career at Duke. So hopefully that's another way you're gonna emulate him as well.
Yeah, thank you. That means a lot.
All right, well, Hiro, it's been fun catching up. You're always fun to interview, and I want you to know you make it really hard on sports writers now because I go and cover the best game every day, and I'm trying to decide where to go Monday, and I want to go see teams I haven't seen. And I kind of feel like, well, I want to go see your start because I might miss something that I don't know what I might miss, but that says something about the way the season you've had to date and the season I know that you're going to continue to have. So thanks for taking the time here. Best of luck to you and to the Wreckers the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And that's this episode of the Ruden Report podcast. Again, I want to thank my guest, Hiro Wyatt of the Staples baseball team. I want to thank another Staples graduate, Cooper Boardman, for the sound editing, and we'll be back with another episode real soon. Thanks for listening.